kiss today goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone. As we travel today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did. I did for love, what I did for love. Love is never gone. As we travel on, love's what will remain. Today goodbye and point me towards tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did.
Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Dylan. For those of you who don't know, this is Becca's last Sunday with us before she goes off to college. So we're very happy to have her here. Thank you for what a beautiful way to start this service, which is all about love and beauty. So thank you. Whew. Last time you're going to make me cry before I have to start all the announcements. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Just making sure you're awake. My name is Reverend Emily Bruce. I'm the minister of this congregation, and I want to welcome you all here to First Parish in Kingston. Whether this is your first time or your 1000th time or somewhere in between, I want you to know that you are welcome here, and we are happy to be with you this morning. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith, a faith that every single person is worthy of love, a faith that what we do in and for our world really matters, and a faith that we are connected by an interdependent web to each other and to our earth home. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. In a moment, Tom Agello will lead us in lighting our chalice, but as always, we do have a few announcements. First, I want to thank everybody who helped with yesterday's yard sale, but most especially our organizers, Deb Herlihy, Kristen Casey, and Carmen Gart. I know Carmen and Deb are here. Kristen's not. She's probably tired, and it's earned. Yes, so thank you. Thank all three of you, but thank you everyone who showed up, who donated, who worked tables, who made food, who helped clean up. It was a massive effort. I don't know how much we raised yet. Hopefully we'll find out. It'll be in the newsletter next week. Hopefully, yes. Also, there are some plants left over from the plant sale. They're on the lawn outside of Beal House, so if you see a plant that you fancy, feel free to take it home. And if you would like to make a small donation to the church as a thank you for that plant you're taking home, we will gladly accept it. But we will also gladly accept you just taking a plant home. So take a look as you head to coffee hour afterwards. As I'm sure you know by now, today is our Flower Communion Sunday, so if you brought a flower but you have not yet put it in the vase in the back of the church, I invite you to do so now. You will get another flower later, so please do so. There's lots of flowers, which is good. Next Sunday, our service will start at 9:30 a.m. and it will be in the Beal House. We'll be streaming the UU's General Assembly Sunday worship service, so that's next Sunday at 9:30. And then the following Sunday, which is June 29th, starts our summer services. And as last year, we are splitting these with the Plymouth UU Church, and they are going first. So starting June 29th, it's 9:30 on Sunday mornings. They're doing the first 5 Sundays of the summer, and then the second 5 Sundays, which I believe is August and Labor Day weekend, will be back here in the Beal House, all at 9:30. There'll be a schedule in the newsletter. It'll be on the website. It'll be on social media. So wherever you get news about us, check there in the next week or so, and you'll have more information. Finally, we have another goodbye and bon voyage to say today. Our beloved Zach Fritz, who's been running our Zoom for 2 years, yes, got himself a better job, and he is taken off. So this is his last Sunday with us. So will you all please rise, and if you can, and applaud Zach. Thank you, Zach, for all you've done, for all the last-minute changes we've thrown at you, for all the mic fixing and audio tweaking you've done over these months. I literally could not do worship without you, and especially for the folks that come on Zoom, you are invaluable to the experience here, so thank you so much for everything you've done. Now, I invite you all to join me in taking a deep breath in and out. Relax in your seat. Put your cell phone on silent if you haven't yet. Get comfortable. Whatever worries are resting on your hearts or in your minds, just let them rest there. And take another deep breath in and out. And let your mind, your heart, your soul, and your body rest in this space with us for the next hour as we worship together. Let's do one more deep breath in and out. Tom Agello will lead us in lighting our chalice.
Good morning. I'm Tom Agello. I am a member of the Parish Governing Board and of the choir and the music committee, and I suppose most importantly, I am a father of 2 beautiful people. And This morning, we'll light our chalice with these words by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life. Holy, holy, holy. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 76, for flowers that bloom about our feet, in the gray hymnal, number 76.
Good morning. My name is Laura Sanda, and I serve this community as your Director of Religious Enrichment. During this, our final time for all ages of the church year, in preparation for our flower communion ritual a bit later in the service, I will invite you all to join your voices together to provide a blessing for these beautiful flowers. Before we provide a blessing for these beautiful flowers, I invite any children here today, Miss Ella and our ushers, to help me bring the flowers up to the front. Thank you. Can we all together just say, wow? Right? Okay. Okay, as we bless these flowers this morning in all of their varied early summer glory, we will also bless us, this beautiful bouquet of people gathered here today in body and in spirit. For these beautiful and unique flowers represent all of the beautiful and unique parts of us and the wonderful whole we create together. After each phrase I offer, you can respond with, "We bless each other." First, let us bless our children. Like tulips and iris, they multiply around us, making the world ever more filled with color, beauty, and new life. We bless each other. Let us bless our generous friends, as constant in bloom as echinacea, and whose gifts lift us up in body and spirit, and our stormy weather friends, who stand by us in hard times, like lily of the valley that cannot be deterred by shade or shadow. We bless each other. Let us bless our feisty friends, as indomitable as geraniums, and our crotchety friends, as prickly as rose bushes. Their beauty a secret that is only discovered through careful gardening. We bless each other. Let us bless our surprising friends, who at first glance may seem dour and then blossom into joy as quickly as forsythia, and our continuous friends, who, like bittersweet and ivy, hold on and never let go. We bless each other. Let us bless our funny friends, silly as snapdragons, and serious friends, complex as chrysanthemums. For longtime friends, nodding like sunflowers in the evening time, and new friends coming on fast as flocks. We bless each other. And finally, for forget-me-not friends, gone but never forgotten. Their beauty lives on in our memories and hearts. We bless each other. For this stunning bouquet of people gathered here, you who brighten our lives, each in your own way, with your words, your actions, and your love, may we say together, we bless each other.
And our bouquet grew in front of our very eyes while we did that. So thank you all who have come and added to this wonderful.
When we give, we say yes to something we value. In this congregation, we take up an offering each week to say yes to the values of our UU faith and yes to this beloved community. Please give as you are able. Today's offering will be gratefully received.
Our offering anthem today is Flowers, with words by Adrian Sweats and music by Carl Bach. The song, as you will hear, mentions many different types of flowers, some you've likely never heard of. So we printed all the names of the flowers in your order of service. And as you listen to the offering, I invite you to play along and see how many you recognize. There is beauty in diversity indeed.
So just a quick note, as you know, that this is Becca White's last day with us as our intern, and we were so touched by her candle, but we wanted to take one moment as the choir to officially present her with some parting flowers that are not nearly as lovely and beautiful as she is. And we know Becca is off to UMass Amherst in the fall to study music education. Wonderful. And that we hope that she and her loved ones all know that the doors of First Parish are always open, and we hope as she will come back maybe for Christmas. She said it, it's a contract. And whenever she wants. And over the last years, of course, we've all been blessed to see and hear Becca almost every Sunday, and her beautiful voice and her talent has been a gift to us. But she's also to be commended for her incredible reliability and her exceptional patience, because Becca is sometimes, often, maybe always, the most stable and composed person in our wacky choir crew. So I know Tony is very sad to be losing the best role model among the bunch. So he is going to miss you more than all of us, but we will all miss you and your voice and your kindness and your heart. And we just thank you so much for the time you've given us, and we wish you all the best in your next adventures, and we hope you keep singing because the world needs your voice. Yay.
Today's reading, How Doth the Little Bee, from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. How skillfully she builds her cell, and how neat she spreads the wax and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In works of labor or of skill, I would be busy too. For Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or work or healthful play, let my first years be past, that I may give for every day some good account at last.
Thank you, Tom. Albert Einstein, I trust you all know who Albert Einstein is. He's often quoted as saying this: "If the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then the human would only have 4 years of life left. No more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, no more humans." Now, as with most historic quotes, there's no real proof that he actually said this. I have to put that in there. But many people, including a lot of beekeepers, quote him saying those words. Because pollination, as I'm sure some of you know, is vital to our food chain, our environment, and to the survival of all of our species. It's estimated that about 70%, that's 70% of flowering plants that cover the earth need pollinators in order to be able to produce their seeds and their flowers. And it's estimated that the work of pollinators provides roughly 1 of every 3 bites of food that we eat. Think about that. 1 out of 3 bites comes from a pollinator, or something that benefits from pollination, I should say. So since we're in the middle of the growing season, you've no doubt seen the bees at work amongst the flowers. And also, just for the record, bees aren't the only pollinators. Wasps, flies, butterflies, moths, ants, beetles also help flowering plants reproduce. Also, some species of birds and bats. I didn't know that. And it's a big job being a pollinator. A lot of survival and thriving is riding on those tiny little bee shoulders. So as most things actually work in this world, it is not a job that bees do alone. Bees are highly collaborative creatures. A typical honeybee hive has about anywhere from 20,000 to 80,000 bees living together in one colony. Each colony has a queen bee, of course, then several hundred male drone bees whose sole job is to mate with the queen so that she'll keep laying all those eggs for the colony. And the rest of those 20 to 80,000 bees are made up by female worker bees who do all the rest of the work. I'm not about to make a commentary on gender. I don't need to. So they gather pollen, they make sure everybody gets fed, including the queen bee, the drone bees, the little larval bees that are growing. They do housekeeping, they make the beeswax, they do it all. So one of my favorite factoids about these worker bees is the waggle dance. And I have Laura Sanda to thank for telling me about this. So the waggle dance is the way, and that's literally what it's called. That's what scientists call it, the waggle dance. This isn't something cutesy I made up. It's the way bees communicate with each other about a lot of things. Because you see, bees don't have Facebook or Twitter. They don't have text threads with thousands of their bee friends. They can't call people or send mail or anything like that. So when in their ranging far and wide amongst the flowers, they find a really good source of pollen, they have a very unique way of telling their friends about it. They do it with their innate sense of direction and with their butts, hence the waggle dance. The waggle dance is what they do when they return to their hives, and the waggle dance itself creates a miniature map so their bees can know where the pollen is, and it's a 3-step process. First step, the direction they point their little butts tells the other bees which direction the pollen is in. The second step is they waggle their butts, it's me waggling my butt, and the duration of the waggle indicates how far away the pollen is. Yes. Finally, the third step is repeating steps 1 and 2, and the speed with which they repeat those steps tells the other bees how good the food source is. So they point their butt in one direction, they waggle their butt to indicate distance, and the speed with which they do it tells them how good the pollen is. So maybe a couple flowers would just get kind of a meh kind of waggle, you know? But a whole field of flowers? I'm not gonna demonstrate that. That's edging on inappropriate. But I love to think about this because I will anthropomorphize almost any creature. I love to think of a little bee getting all excited by this huge field of flowers and racing back to the hive going, you guys, and then just waggling her little butt off. It's the excitement, clearly, about this method of communication that I love so much. This strong desire to share good news with your hive. The energy with which the bee will race back and share that information with her friends. Because there's an abundance mentality to it, right? She's not keeping this information for herself. She's not hoarding it. She's rushing home so she can tell everyone else about where all this good pollen is. And no doubt, of course, this news is crucial to their survival. This source of food will ensure that they can all feed themselves, their queen bee, their little baby larva bees. And for the rest of us, this news helps us ensure the growing of our own food, the beautiful and necessary thriving of our biodiversity, and ultimately, the survival of our species along with theirs. So, as we are about to launch into summer, and some of us have already done so, I have a charge for all of you. Be pollinators. Be pollinators. Find your pollen and share it with all of your friends. Since this is clearly a metaphor, what's the pollen, you might be asking? What exactly am I asking you all to do besides maybe waggle your butts? Because that is part of this. Well, in a word, your pollen is you. You are the pollen. I want you to think about how you can activate your ability to be a force for joy, for resilience, and for love in this world. So many of us know so deeply in our bones that community, belonging to each other, being here with and for each other, helps us weather the storms of life. It certainly has helped us process the news of the world these last few years because it reminds us that we're not alone. We're not alone in our anger. We're not alone in our fear. We're not alone in our frustration. And in addition to all of that, the joy and love that we share with each other is what helps it grow. It creates an energy of abundance that makes room for everyone who comes into contact with it. How many times today did someone get up and light a candle offering gratitude for the way this community feeds them? The way this community nurtures them, the way this community may have held them in their grief, the way this community may have helped them when they were suffering. And that happens every Sunday. Those of you who come here a lot know that, yeah? So as we are out and about this summer, I ask you to consider how you can pollinate the world with the kind of joy that brings you here on Sundays, the kind of belonging and love that makes you grateful for this community. Your love for this church community and, in a larger sense, our Unitarian Universalist faith, your appreciation and support of this movement that puts love at the center and makes space for everyone at the table, because we have a powerful message to share. It's not worth much, though, if nobody shares it. Am I right? We know that this world will never stop giving you reasons to worry, reasons to be angry, or reasons to be afraid. And in this kind of culture, it can feel really hard or wrong to intentionally focus on joy, to intentionally focus on the good we see, the good we can do, and the good we can share. But that's the work, because there are so many people in this world who are lost, who are alone, who are friendless, who may have lost their hope, and they need this kind of pollen more than ever. They really, really do. They need to know there's reason to hope. They need to know that they don't have to go it alone. They need to be reminded that there is far more love out there than the world would have them believe. So, what I'm saying to all of you is waggle your butts. Yeah? Waggle your butts. Let people know where they can find your kind of beauty, your kind of belonging, your kind of love. Be pollinators for yourself, for this community, and for our world that is beautiful and yet broken all at the same time. And we're going to start right now. I'm not going to make you waggle your butts, although we did talk about this. There was a moment where we were going to do this. But it's a step too far, I think. However, if anyone wants to, when you get up in a minute, if you want to waggle your butt, I encourage the waggling. Let's leave it there. We're going to start our flower communion ritual now. So, as you might know, we Unitarian Universalists, we bookmark the beginning and end of our church year with two distinct communion rituals. In the fall, we do water communion, where we each bring water from our homes or someplace we've traveled over the summer, and we pour it all into one communal vase, celebrating the reunion of our collective spirits in this church home. In the spring, we celebrate a flower communion, which is meant to lift up our diversity and our beauty and bind us together and to our earth as we go into the summer and, for some of us, travel away from each other. Flower communion was originally founded by Reverend Norbert Čapek, who was a Unitarian minister in Czechoslovakia in 1923, so it's over 100 years old now. He created flower communion as a means to bind the people together in his church, to remind them of the beauty of the worship that they shared, and to inspire them in a sense of sacred belonging to each other. So he asked everyone to bring a flower to church one Sunday, and they did. They had a ceremony where everyone gave a flower, and everyone took home a different flower as a way to honor the humanity and beauty in every single person. And a tradition was born that, as you can see, continues to this day. But the story's not over there. In the 1940s, when the Nazis took control of Prague, they deemed Reverend Čapek's gospel of inherent worth and dignity to be, quote, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. He was sent to Dachau concentration camp, where he was killed the next year. But it is reported that even in Dachau, he led a flower communion with his fellow prisoners, using blades of grass. Čapek's wife, Maya, brought the flower communion to the United States, where we still now, every year, celebrate this kind man and his message of beauty, worth, and unique gifts that are inherent in each person. So now it's time to honor him once again today and share these beautiful flowers with each other. So, don't get up yet, Ruthie. I know you're ready, but just a couple more things. So you're invited to come down the center aisle up to these vases of flowers in the front, and here's how it's going to work. You are going to pick a flower for the person behind you in line, okay? Don't ask them what kind of flower they like. Don't tell them to point to the one they want. Please don't do any of that. I mean, if you make a side deal because you want a specific flower, I don't need to know about it. I don't want to know about it. But that is not the point. The point is you pick a flower and you offer it to them, because each of us bring ourselves and what we can offer into this community, and that is what we are able to give. That is what community is. And that is what this ritual is meant to celebrate today. So give the gift you are able to give and be joyful when it is received. As you come up, you might also want to take a look at the cape from last Sunday. This is from RE Sunday, our superhero cape. If you weren't here, we were all invited to participate in a ritual. We wrote our superpowers, and there's some really cool stuff up there. So as you head back to your seat, or whichever way you're going, I invite you to take a look at our beautiful superhero cape. And finally, if you would like to stay in your seat and have a flower be brought to you, you can just raise your hand, and Tom or I will come up. We'll pick a flower for you, and we'll bring it to you. So now, when you're ready, and Tony's going to play some music for us, again, come down the center aisle. You're picking the flower for the person behind you in line. And let's do it.
Should the first person come twice?
No, we're gonna pick a flower for the first person. Yeah.
Father's Day.
Oh, go ahead, yeah. There you go. All right, everyone. Whew, is right. As we all take in the beauty of our flowers this morning, I offer this blessing for all of us. Source of all great love that surrounds us, let us bless these flowers as they bless us with their wonder and their beauty, with the new life that is promised each spring in a field of flowers. These flowers have survived the brutality of the earth's forces to become things of beauty, to bloom and to flourish. So may we be like these flowers. May we endure the struggles of our present moment, of our country's reckoning with division and unrest. May we, like these flowers, be strong, resilient, and radiant. May we take these flowers with us, knowing that we each have gifts to offer and gifts to receive in a community such as ours. I invite you now to hold your flowers up and look around the room. Wherever we go, may we shine beauty like these flowers for the gifts we have received, for the beauty of the earth, and for her people. May it be so, and amen. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, number 65 in the gray hymnal, Sweet June Days.